letterpress, it is meditative work, and there is something really, really beguiling about letterpress printing. It takes time because everything is done a piece at a time. Well, it's called letterpress because literally you take a letter and it's pressed into the paper, so it's letterpress. It's a relief method of printing. And you set the type one letter at a time. So you can imagine how many letters are in a book. Well, you have to reach into the case and put it in each one by hand, and the spaces between the words. And then you have to fill the lines up so that they're exactly the same tension, so that when you lock them into the press, or when you're carrying them around, they don't fall apart. All of this very time consuming. And then you correct the inevitable errors that you find. The letter will be upside down, or there will be a broken letter, or you've forgotten a word, or you've said a word twice. Once you get all that fixed, you need to design the piece. If it's a book, what size page, what kind of margins. But you have to decide, am I going to illustrate it? Am I going to put color in it? If color, what color? And then how much space around? What am I going to use for my title? What am I going to use for the page numbers? So all these things have to be weighed, and I think that's one of the attractions. It takes time, but you own every single choice. This method is not in opposition to or a replacement for using newfangled equipment, computers, InDesign, Photoshop, all of that. You create something, letterpress, that can't be created any other way. You get to feel the fact that it is impressed into the paper. You can't reproduce that. There's something about having the words that you're setting literally embodied. You have it in your hand. You watch it grow, and you feel the heft of your words. There's no substitute for that, and it's very, very attractive. But anything you do slowly, and anything that you take your time and consider every step along the way, is certainly, in some ways, a rebellion against a culture in which everything is canned, everything is prepackaged, and everything moves fast. I think it's a way of stepping back from, the kinds of pressures that we all endure. We work harder, we work more hours because of the computer. I mean, it's all because of the computer. And in this work, you have to slow down. And so anything that slows you down, anything that requires you to be engaged physically, is pretty much in opposition to the dominant culture. For me, it's a devotion. It's a way of being in the world, and because it's a way for me to embody and concretize my poetry. That's a place where everything the artwork that means the most to me, all come into play in one place, and that's important to me. On printing, pack rats watch from their home in the eaves. The presses are down. The hypnotic machines rest now in their bulk like men who have gathered for gossip or prayer. I swear I have heard them sigh in their great satisfaction. We are born to this work, to love set loose upon the world, to give life to bodies, words, the orderly repetition of ourselves. We are the tools of increase and multiply our common emotion, joy at our labors, which we repeat again and again.